Now we go inside buildings. So what accessibility features must we provide inside buildings? Let's talk about entrances first. Number one, dapat accessible, no, PWD friendly yung entrances ng buildings at arrival and departure points. Kung saan pumapasok yung tao and kung saan sila lumalabas, dapat accessible yon. And when we say accessible, ibig sabihin, kayang makapasok ng PWDs easily without needing assistance. Okay? A lot of people wonder, does that mean ramp? Na dapat ibig ba sabihin accessible entrance, ibig sabihin entrance with a ramp? That's what it usually means. Pero as you'll see in the way that PP344 explains this, the ramp is just a device kasi for accessibility. If you have other preferred devices na hindi ramp, it appears na pwede mong gamitin din yon instead of a ramp. Kasi may ganung wording minsan sa BP344 na parang kung hindi ramp, then dapat meron kang ibang, I don't know, it could be an elevator, it could be a wheelchair lift, it could be something else. Okay, pero yes, ang pinaka-obvious na device for accessibility is the ramp. So, nakalagay dito, in case of changes in elevations between the sidewalk and the entrance, a ramp must be provided. So, in this instance, sidewalk to entrance is pretty clear, dapat ramp. Okay, if there are elevators, there must be an entrance where the elevators are accessible. Okay. Next, entrances with vestibules must have a level area at least 1.5 meters wide and 1.8 meters deep. Ito naman yon. So first of all, some people don't know what a vestibule is. A vestibule is a space before the entrance door, basically just an intervening space before you get to the entrance door. Kung meron pang space before the door, that's a vestibule. And ito yun, for example, this is a vestibule. And kung may vestibule ka, minimum 1.5 meters wide by 1.8 meters deep. Any change in level requires a ramp except when served by an elevator or any other mechanical device. Ito yung sinasabi ko, ramp yung pinaka-obvious na device to use for accessibility, but kung hindi ka magra-ramp, kunyari nga, there are times na hindi kasya yung ramp in a certain, say, corner of the building. You have to, kung hindi ka pwedeng mag-ramp, then find a different way. Okay? Dapat makahanap ka ng mechanical device that will do the same thing. Okay? What thing? It's usually the problem kasi that usually is kailangan mo to you need to get from one elevation, from a lower elevation to a higher elevation or vice versa. Okay? Kung pwedeng ramp, ramp. Kung hindi kaya ramp, like hindi kasya, you have to find a different way, usually a mechanical way of accessibility. So usually wheelchair lifts are used, elevators are used, etc. Anyway, for ramps, the minimum clear width is 1.2 meters and the maximum slope is 1:12. Okay, for those who have trouble understanding, ano ba yung 1:12, ano ba yung 1:20, 1:100 na yan? I think ibig natin sabihin ng 1:12. Pag sinabing 1:12, 1 unit vertical and then 12 units horizontal. And then that slope is 1:12. Pag sinabing 1:20, 1 and then this one is 20. So it's going to be flatter. 1:20 is flatter than 1:12. But you get the idea. Okay, so ito yung requirements for ramps illustrated. So far what we've said are minimum clear width and maximum slope. So minimum width 1.2, maximum slope niya is 1:12. Okay. Other requirements: maximum ramp length 6 meters. If the gradient is 1:12, if it needs to be longer than 6 meters, then there have to be landings muna, 1.5 meter deep landings before the next run of the ramp. So going back to the picture, so ang maximum length ng ramp is 6 meters. Okay, if it needs to be longer than that, you have to have a landing first before you do another run of the ramp. Okay, yun lang yung sinasabi natin. 1.5 meter deep landing. Now, please also take note na yung 6 meter maximum length ng ramp is measured horizontally, like along the ground surface. It's not measured along the sloping surface of the ramp. That's very important. Okay, next. There has to be a level area at least 1.8 meters deep at the top and at the bottom of any ramp. Ito naman yun. So this is the bottom of the ramp and this is the top of the ramp. At the top and at the bottom, meron tayong clear space measuring 1.8 meters deep. Okay? This is, again, this is deeper than the landing. Itong landing, 1.5 lang. Ito, 1.8. 1.8 din ito, minimum. Okay, the others you already are familiar with. Yung handrail, dalawa, isang 900, isang 700, etc. Other requirements for ramps, bukod sa handrail, so sinabi na natin yung handrail, di ba? 0.7 and 0.9. There have to be curbs on both sides with a minimum height of 0.10 meters or 100 millimeters. Ito naman yun. So, ang sinasabi natin is both sides, meron kang parang low wall or zocalo measuring about 4 inches tall, 100 millimeters tall, both sides of the ramp. That's required. Okay, next. Any ramp with a rise greater than 0.2 meters leading towards a vehicular area should have a railing across the full width of the lower end, not less than 1.8 meters from the foot of the ramp. So what's this about? This is about yung mga ganito, yung mga ramp na nakatutok siya sa kalsada. First of all, try to avoid doing this. Now, if you can avoid it, please avoid it. Kasi it could lead to nasty accidents for obvious reasons. Nakatutok yung ramp sa kalsada. Try not to do that. But if it cannot be avoided, then you must look at this requirement because it might apply to your ramp. So first of all, this requirement applies to ramps na nakatutok sa kalsada, at least 0.2 meters tall. For ramps like that, dapat daw lagyan ng railing 1.8 meters away from the lower end of the ramp, from the foot of the ramp. You have this railing, standard railing siya, 900, 700, as wide as the ramp. Okay, ang purpose nito is yun nga, parang pang-catch siya in case merong ma-aksidente, like, pagka, I don't know, maybe you lose control of the wheelchair, we don't want you to fall down dun sa driveway, baka masagasaan ka. This railing is supposed to parang catch that, to prevent that from happening. Okay, now doors, minimum lapad lang yung binigay sa BP 344, minimum clear width is 800 millimeters. Okay, another requirement for doors is this. Dapat daw, well, first, if the door swings out into a hallway, then there have to be clear spaces 1.5 by 1.5 on both sides of the door. So again, 1.5 by 1.5, 1.5 by 1.5 yung clear space, both sides of the door, if the door swings out into the hallway. Pero if the door, it doesn't really swing out, it swings in, then the 1.5 by 1.5 space is only required on the side of the room, not on the hallway. Yung sa hallway, kung ano lang yung required for hallways, which is 1.2, yun lang yung dapat i-provide. Next, doors should swing out for storage rooms, closets, and PWD toilets. Dapat swing out. The hardware that you use for these doors should be easy to operate, no, not requiring complicated finger actions. Okay? And yung hardware should be mounted at the correct height. Okay? Ang nakalagay dito, anywhere between 0.82 to 1.06 meters from the floor line is okay, but the preferred height is 0.9 meters. Okay? So ito yung hardware. Okay? Again, anywhere between 0.82 to 1.06 is acceptable, pero the preferred height is 0.9. Kung hindi doorknob, kunyari if you're going to use pull handles, try to mount them vertically. No? Dapat daw vertical mounting for easier operation. And the center line of the vertical handle should be at 1.06 from the floor. Okay, so ito yun. Again, if you're going to have a pull handle, ayaw natin yung horizontally mounted, dapat vertically mounted siya. And the center line of that handle should be at 1.06 meters from the floor. If the door is located at a busy location, a major circulation area, then dapat meron siyang kick plate at the bottom made of a durable material, 0.3 to 0.4 meters in height. Kung busy location, busy area, like, basically kung yung door is going to be used many times in the day, then dapat lagyan siya ng kick plate. Ito yung kick plate natin. Sa baba, 0.3 to 0.4 yung height, made of durable material, like maybe metal. Okay? Next, thresholds. For those who are unfamiliar, the threshold is parang the part of the floor underneath the door. Okay? Why do we need to talk about them? Kasi madalas dito nangyayari yung change in elevation. May step down, may step up dyan sa threshold. So, sabi dito ng BP 344, thresholds if necessary should have a maximum height of 25 millimeters and kung kayang gawing ramped, better. So, maximum height 25 millimeters lang. Okay? And kung kayang hindi gawing kwadrado, kung kayang gawing ramped, para mas suwabe yung transition, better. Next, switches. As in switch ng ilaw. Correct mounting height ng switches, 1.2 to 1.3 meters from the floor and they should be located on the doorknob side, the latch side, or the doorknob side. Not too far away from the doorknob side either. 200 millimeters maximum from the doorknob side. So again, doorknob side dapat yung switch, wag sa hinge side, mas mahirap abutin doon. Ideally, pag bukas mo ng pinto, abot mo agad yung switch. So dapat nasa doorknob side siya. And not too far away either. Dapat dapat maximum 200 millimeters away from the door. Okay? As for the mounting height, 1.2 to 1.3. Okay, corridors. Corridors in buildings are a lot like walkways sa labas, a lot like sidewalks. Lalakaran siya ng tao. So, a lot of the requirements that were applied to or that applied to sidewalks kanina actually apply to corridors as well. Like, for example, the minimum width is still 1.2. The turning space requirement still applies. Again, 1.5 by 1.5 clear space with a maximum spacing of 12 meters. Same requirement. The only maybe new requirement for corridors na hindi applicable sa sidewalks before is this, yung turning space at the dead end. So, BP 344 requires na may turning space dapat na i-provide dito sa dead end. Again, the turning space measures 1.5 by 1.5. Kung may dead end ka, lagyan mo siya ng turning space. Kung hindi mo kayang ilagay dyan exactly, pwede mo siyang ilayo ng bahagya basta not farther than 3.5 meters away from the dead end. Alright, let's talk about toilets. For PWDs, the toilet stall must measure 1.7 by 1.8, so 1.7 wide by 1.8 deep. As for how many toilet stalls, how many PWD toilet stalls must be provided, you have to count kung ilang water closets yung meron for that floor. Okay, for every floor. And also per gender, kasi most toilets are gender-based. There's one for males and one for females. Okay, pero for every 20 water closets, 20 or less water closets, dapat at least one of them should be a PWD toilet stall. Again, there should be at least one PWD toilet stall if there are 20 water closets or less. And you increase the minimum to 2. At least two PWD toilet stalls if the water closet is more than 20. Okay, so again, that's what you do. So for example, isang toilet lang for males and another lang for females for this floor. All you need to do is look at how many water closets ba are there in each toilet. Okay, so if both naman have less than 20 water closets, then isang PWD toilet stall lang yung kailangan. Okay, let's go back to that toilet stall drawing. Other requirements for PWD toilets. The mounting location of the water closet is 0.4 from one edge of the toilet stall. Hindi mo dapat ginigitna yung water closet sa stall. It has to be on one side only. 400 from the center line to the wall. Ang purpose is we're trying to free up this space for the wheelchair. Other requirements, yung grab bar, okay, meron kang 900 by 900 na grab bar at the corner where you mount your toilet or your water closet. The door is 900 millimeters clear. Well, actually, yeah, this is actually wrong. I'm sorry. This is wrong. I don't know where I got this drawing. Pero standard door lang tayo, so 800 lang yung requirement ng BP 344. Pero it has to swing out. That's correct. We said that about toilet stalls. And another new requirement is turning space should be provided outside the PWD toilet stall, measuring 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, let me go back and make sure. Doors, yeah, the minimum clear width for doors is 800. Okay, so dapat 800 yung nasa drawing na yun. Okay, other things, signages, toilet signages. For men's toilets, dapat triangular, pointing upward, equilateral triangle, 300 per side. For women's toilets, bilog yung signage, 300 millimeter diameter. The purpose of this is so that the blind can easily tell kung men's or women's toilet ba yung toilet. Because all they need to do is touch the signage. If there's a curved edge, they know right away it's for women. If there's a straight edge or a sharp corner, they know right away it's for men. Okay, other things, maximum height ng water closet seat and toilet seat is 0.45 meters. Maximum height naman ng flush control is 1.2 meters. Another thing, something that you won't see in the text but is in the official drawings is 0.8 0.8 dapat daw yung mounting height ng grab bar. Okay, for lavatories naman, yung lavabo, maximum height is 800. Now, a lot of students get this wrong. A lot of them, for some reason, answer 850. Pero again, it's 800 millimeters from the floor, maximum. And the space under the lavatory should be a clear space. We call that the knee recess space. Okay, imagine you're in a wheelchair. If you're going to use the lavatory, you're going to parang operate the tap, the faucet. To be able to reach the top, you might need to be able to insert your knees under the lavatory a tiny bit para maabot mo yung faucet. So that's what this is for. It's the reason why itong space na to should not be parang obstructed with, say, drawers or cabinet doors. Dapat clear space siya. The clearances required are 0.6 to 0.7 vertical and 0.5 horizontal, or yung minimum depth is 0.5. As for urinals naman, for them to be considered accessible, dapat elongated lip. Okay, ganito yung elongated lip. And the maximum height of the lip is 0.48. Now, it's not in the text, but it's in some of the official drawings. Dapat may grab bar yung accessible urinal. The grab bar is 600 millimeters tall, mounted 600 millimeters from the floor. Okay, the tread, for stairs, the tread should be slip resistant, which is obvious. And also for nosings naman ng tread, slanted nosings are preferred to projecting nosings or to open stringers. Ito yung tinatawag na projecting nosing. Ito yung slanted nosing. This is what we prefer. Okay? The main reason is may chance na mapatid ka dito or yung paa mo pwedeng sumabit dun sa corner. It's much less likely to happen here. Now, open stringer, which also must be avoided, we have guidelines like this. Okay, the last part of BP 344 deals with safety. This is really more about yung mga hukay-hukay sa daan, mga excavations outside. We don't want people falling in, especially the blind. Nakalagay dito, all excavations, whether on the road or footway, must be adequately protected. It's easier to explain in this drawing. So suppose may hukay nga dyan sa sidewalk, no, sa labas. What we're trying to do is we're trying to prevent, or we're trying to keep people from falling in, especially concerning siya for the blind, baka mahulog sila. So, first requirement, dapat may fence all around the excavation, a sturdy fence, and the height of the fence, sorry, this is wrong. Again, I don't know why nagkaroon ng ganyang typo there, but the height of the fence is at least 1 meter from the sidewalk, and there should be a lower rail called the tapping rail at 0.35 meters from the surface. So, ito yung main rail natin. Ignore this, please. 1 meter high siya from the sidewalk minimum. And then there's a lower rail, which we call the tapping rail, mounted at 0.35 meters from the sidewalk. The purpose of the tapping rail is to catch the cane, no, of the blind. Kasi itong 1 meter high rail is unlikely na yung cane ng blind will hit a 1 meter high rail. So we put a lower rail here para ma-hit ng cane yung lower tapping rail and ma-warn yung blind na there's something there, there's an obstruction, there's an excavation, etc. Okay? Other requirements for safety, all excavations, kung walang fence, dapat lagyan ng cover. Okay? This temporary cover should not lessen yung required clearance for the walkway. Itong walkway na to dapat 1.2 meters wide pa rin. And kung yung corner daw, pwedeng going sloping or ramp better. If doing a cover will result in less than 1.2 meter wide walkways, mas maganda pang takpan na lang yung buo para malapad yung pwedeng lakaran ng tao. Again, we never want the walkway to be less than 1.2 meters wide. Same goes for signages. If you're going to have a signage, wag mo siyang ilalagay dun sa walkway. Again, may clearance tayo dito na 1.2. It has to be clear. If the signage should be here, then try to place it elsewhere, like in grass verges kung meron. Basta make sure lang that this is 1.2 unobstructed. Okay, again, 1.2 unobstructed. And lastly, this is you see this in many buildings. Ito yung parang floor plan ng building, mounted parang usually naka-frame or something, mounted on the wall. And it's parang a key plan of that floor. And you look at that plan, if you're, say, looking for the toilet, or you're looking for the elevator, or you're looking for the fire escape or the fire exits, the plan shows you where those things are. Ang sinasabi lang ng BP344 is this plan is very important for safety, and even the blind should be able to read it. Okay, so ang request ng BP344 for plans like this is dapat readable siya by the blind, meaning the symbols are embossed and the text are in braille as well, para kayong basahin ng blind kung ano yung sinasabi ng plan.